आओ बच्चों आओ आओ तुम्हें बताऊं एक कहानी। आओ बच्चों आओ आओ तुम्हें बताऊं एक कहानी। एक कहानी एक कहानी एक कहानी जो आप याद रखोगे और लिखोगे। जो आप याद रखोगे और लिखोगे। इसके बाद जो कोई भी कहानियाँ मैं आपको सुनाऊंगी आप उसका एक जर्नल बनाओगे। So children, from now onwards, my endeavor of telling stories to you would be creating more storytellers. I want children to be storytellers and I'm going to help you write stories and to tell stories. Are you ready for this journey? So, my today's story is going to be about a farmer. There lived a farmer and his wife, and they lived happily in a hut. Whole day the farmer used to work in the fields and his wife used to help him in the field as well. With whatever little they had, they were very happy eating whatever they had. One day, while the farmer was in his field working, he was plowing the fields, and you know what happened? He hit something really hard. He was wondering, oh my God, what is it inside? I wonder. Let me dig it little more so that I find out what is that. He dug, he dug, he dug inside. He dug, he dug, he dug it more. And what did he find? He found a jar. What did he find? He found a jar. And he wondered to himself, hey Bhagwan, I thought I will get some gold and silver. But what is this? This is just a jar, a simple jug. He said to himself, and he kept it there. And because he dug so much, he was tired. And he thought to himself, I guess it's time for me to have a small nap. Let me go underneath that tree and take a small nap. Saying so, he took his plowing tool and he kept it in the jar and he left for taking a small nap. After taking a peaceful nap, he woke up and he thought, I better get back to my work. So he walked towards the field. And lo behold, what did he see? He saw that his one spade, what he had kept in the jug, and now there were hundreds of spades. He wondered, how is this possible? I had just kept one spade in this, and they have turned into hundreds of spades. My God, I'm sure this jug is a magical one. Well, let me try one more trick just to check the authenticity of this jug. Saying so, what he did, he took out all the spades and then he plucked an apple from the tree and put it inside the jug, and then again went off to have a short nap. He slept away to glory, and after some time he woke up. I had a wonderful nap. Oh, I need to go and check the jar. Let me see. I had kept an apple in the jar, and now let me see what has happened to it. He went to the jar, and then not one, not two, not three, but there were hundreds of apples pouring out of the jar. And he was very happy, and he said to himself, "My God, oh Lord, I am so grateful to you." He knelt down and he prayed to his God, saying, "God, I am so grateful to you for giving me this magical jar. I promise, God, that I am going to use this wisely." Saying so, he took the jar to his home, and he told this what all happened, all these things to his wife. His wife was very happy to know that. She said, "Oh yes, our poor days, our bad days are going to be good henceforth. But my dear husband, let's be extra careful. Let's take care that this jug is not visible to anybody. Otherwise, people may start doubting us. So, we need to use it wisely." Saying so, both of them decided that they will put a few things in this and take out those things and go to the market and sell it. So, they didn't want easy money. All they did was they made their life easy. They took a few grains and put it inside the jug. And what happened? After a few minutes, the jug started pouring out lot of grains. They collected all that in a sack. The farmer took it on his back, and then he walked to the market and sold all the grains. And those grains were the best grains in the market. So everybody wanted to buy it from him. He earned lot of money from this. After earning lot of money from this, he bought a few things for his house, and happily he went home. Again, after a few days, he poured a few more grains in this, and there were thousands of grains out of this jug. He again put it in a sack, carried it on his back, and then he went to the market. He sold it off, and then he bought a small cow for himself. This little cow gave some nice healthy milk to them. What he did was, he took the milk, poured a glass of milk in this jug, and then lo and behold, the milk started pouring out in gallons. He took the milk and he sold it in the market. Since it was pure milk, everybody wanted to buy it from the farmer, and the farmer and his wife became rich. They built a cute little house in front of their old hut. Earlier they stayed in a hut. Now they built a nice, beautiful, cozy house for themselves, and they were living happily inside the house. Seeing this, few of their neighbors wondered, how is it that this farmer is becoming rich so early? I don't understand. There is something fishy, said one of the neighbor. He thought, let me go and peep into their house and see what it is. This neighbor went slowly to their house, and from this window he peeped inside. And what did he see? Oh my God! What am I seeing? I see this farmer and his wife. They're putting some grains in a jar. I wonder why. Saying so, he stood there for some time to see why the farmer and his wife were putting the grains in the jar. What's happening? Oh my God! So many grains are coming out of the jar. How is it even possible? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No wonder this is how they're becoming rich. This little jar is making them rich. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I need to go and tell this to the king. And the king will reward me to give this valuable information. And he ran to the king. And he told the king what he had seen in the house. Listening to this, the king said, how is it possible? In my kingdom, there is a person who is having a magical jar and he doesn't share this information with me. I am the king. I am the mighty king. I should be knowing everything, what's happening in my kingdom. How dare that farmer doesn't share this with me. I order my soldiers to go to his home and bring that jar for me. Saying that, the king felt very happy that he is going to be mightier than what he was earlier. The king's soldiers started marching towards the house of the farmer. Ta-dun, ta-dun, ta-dun. Hurr, hurr, hurr. Ta-dun, ta-dun, ta-dun. Hurr, hurr, hurr. We are the soldiers of the king. Hurr, hurr, hurr. We are the soldiers of the king. Hurr, hurr, hurr. Hurr, hurr, hurr. Hurr, hurr, hurr. We are going to get the jug for a king. Hurr, hurr, hurr. Hurr, hurr, hurr. Saying so, they marched towards the house of the farmer. And then they picked up the jar. The farmer very happily gave the jar to them, saying, yes, please take this and give it to our highness. May he use it for the betterment of our kingdom. Saying so, the farmer handed over the jug to the soldiers. The soldiers carried this jug again back to the king, saying, hurr, hurr, hurr. We carried the jug to the king, king, king. We are the soldiers. Hurr, hurr, hurr. We are carrying the jar to the king, king, king. Saying so, they handed over the jar to the king. When the jar reached the king was mighty happy and he said to himself, now I am the mightiest king in the entire world. Let me see what is inside the jar. And saying so, he peeped into the jar and oof! What happened? The king fell into the jar. And do you know what happened next? Within no time, thousands of kings came out of the jar. And what happened? They all started fighting with each other because everybody wanted to be a mighty king. Every king said, I am the king and I should be ruling, not you. Saying so, each king fought with one another. Tishum, 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 tishum. And all the king within no time were dead. They killed each other. Were they clever or were they foolish? That king was foolish. That's why they fought with each other and they died. This news reached to the farmer. His wife asked, "Hubby dear, did you get the news of the king? The king is no more. What shall we do? Shall we go and get that jar back to us?" The farmer thought for some time and then he said, "Yes, I think we need to go and get back our jug. That jug belonged to us after all, and we were the caretaker of that jug, isn't it?" Saying so, the farmer walked to the palace. He took the jug and he came home to his wife. His wife said, "Now what do we do with the jug? Shall we keep it with us?" The farmer said, "No, darling, we are not going to keep it with us. This jug has served us a lot. We have got whatever we deserved to get. We got a good home, we got a cow for ourselves, and we got a few other things which we require for our living. Now, there is enough for us to live happily." "Then what shall we do?" asked his wife. He said, "Now I am going to take this jar back to our fields and I am going to dig deep down the ground and put this jug in that hole and cover it so that nobody on earth will misuse it the way the king misused it. It was wrong what the king did, and I'm afraid that somebody else should not follow what the king did. So it's better for us to take this jug and dig it underground." Saying so, he took the jug and he dug a big huge hole in his field and he put this jug inside it, covered it with the soil, and then lived happily ever with his wife. How is the story? Did you like it? So what did we learn from this story? We learned that sometimes it's okay to let go of things and hold on to the joy they brought to us. If that farmer wanted, he could have kept the jar with him. But no, he said, "No, I shall not keep the jug with me. The jug has helped me enough. Now I am happy with what I have and I will let go of the jug." Likewise, we too should be open to let go of things and hold on to the joy and happiness they bring into our life. So now we come back to our activity time. What is our activity? As I promised you in the beginning, I want you to be a storyteller. And for you to be a storyteller, you need to remember the story, right? And for that, you need to write the story. But writing the story at times could be so boring, isn't it? I can understand. When I was a kid like you, I too never liked to write down the stories. But then, if we don't do that, how will we remember it? To remember it, we need to have something in written or something which we can see, visualize, isn't it? So, what shall we do? Idea. Let's make a storybook and I will show you how to make the storybook. So here we go with our storybook. For that, you need to have a drawing book. Let's draw our stories so that we remember the story well, and when we have to narrate, we can look at our drawings and then narrate the story. So here is my storybook. And here is the story in the most simple way. Can you see? The magic jug. There was this farmer who was plowing in his field, and what did he find? He found a jug. He thought, what is this jug? A simple jug. Saying so, he kept his spade into the jar and went off to sleep under a tree. When he woke up, in place of one jug, one spade, there were thousands of spades. He thought, I guess this is a magical jar. Let me test it again. So he plucked a mango and he put it in the jar. And lo behold, there were hundreds and thousands of mangoes. He did the same with the grain. He sold the grains in the market, and when he became little rich, he built a nice house for himself and his wife, and they both were very happy with it. The king got to know about it. He got the jar from the farmer. He peeped into it to see what is inside, and he fell into the jug, and lo behold, one king became thousands of kings, and they fought with each other and killed one another. Later, the farmer took the jug and put it back into the ground, into the soil. And then what happened? Thereafter, they stayed happily ever. Can you see? Isn't it simple? Can you make a storybook like this? Henceforth, whatever stories I am going to tell you, I will help you to make your own storybook. So keep following my stories, like the hit button, subscribe to my channel so that you will get to know whenever I add on any stories, so that alongside you make your own storybook, and whenever you have your guest or your friends at home, just open the storybook, point out, and then you'll remember everything. You won't miss out anything, and you will be a good storyteller and a good story writer as well. So all the best.